Princess Celestia has been the nigh-immortal ruler of Equestria for more than 1,000 years. And as far as we know, her reign has been almost completely devoid of any major threats against Equestria. The only notable instances happened before her reign or in the first parts of her reign, like putting Discord into his stone prison, banishing Sombra under the ice, or sending her corrupted sister to the moon. Then there was 1,000 years of peace and harmony with no major threats to her rule, again, as far as we know. But then a number of major events started happening again. Her sister returns from the moon and is defeated by Twilight and the other elements of harmony. Discord is freed from his stone prison and is again defeated by Twilight and the other elements of harmony. Sombra returns from his banishment beneath the ice, and even though Luna is wary of Celestia's unwavering trust in her student, Twilight once again is sent to the Crystal Empire to confront the rising evil. Back in the early days, Celestia would face all of these threats head-on with the help of her sister. But now she is sending Twilight to face each of these new threats. So I have to ask, is Celestia's power weakening? I realize that there are other reasons why Celestia would put so much faith in Twilight. When Discord had been freed, Celestia summoned Twilight and her friends because they were now attuned to the elements of harmony. Celestia herself stated that she could no longer wield them, so in that case it makes a lot of sense. With King Sombra, Celestia had wanted to test Twilight. And we find out much later on that Celestia had been preparing Twilight for her ascension into an alicorn. But at the same time, wasn't Celestia risking the fall of the Crystal Empire here? Even Luna had some reservations about sending Twilight out on this task. And then we have the return of Nightmare Moon. There are many ways that you can interpret Celestia's actions here. I myself have come up with quite a few of my own theories. But it still seems rather risky to put so much faith in her as of yet untested student. Although it could be that Celestia wanted to free her sister from her corrupted form and could not do so on her own. Putting that aside though, I still have to wonder, why are all these major events happening now? After 1,000 years of peace and harmony, there are all these new threats coming out of the woodwork. And even more than that, I am also getting the sense that Celestia is preparing her kingdom for a major change. Not only is Luna back at her side, but now there is also Cadence and Twilight as well. Celestia had ruled over Equestria by herself for a very, very long time. And now there are more alicorns in existence than there ever has been before, again, as far as we know. Could it be that Celestia is not as powerful as she once was? Could it be that Celestia understands that this is happening and is taking steps to reinforce Equestria's defenses and its ruling class? I've heard a number of people consider Princess Celestia to be little more than a troll for making Twilight battle against all these dangerous threats while providing little assistance to her student. I would like to propose a different theory. Perhaps Celestia really can't do any of these things on her own anymore. Perhaps she is trying to conserve her remaining power to keep the balance for as long as she still can. And perhaps Celestia has been training her student to take up the mantle of leadership in the hopes that Twilight will one day be able to take over when Celestia is no longer able to perform her royal duties. It seems to make a lot of sense, given the events of the modern day. But why would all these things be happening now? I would like to propose another theory. What if alicorns are not immortal as we have been led to believe? What if instead it was Celestia's connection to the elements of harmony that has kept her going for all these years? And now that she is no longer connected to them, she is starting to lose some of her great power. This would help explain a great many things, like why Celestia is depending more and more on Twilight to handle these great threats that keep appearing in Equestria. Why Celestia has helped not one but 2 ponies into becoming alicorns in the modern age. And perhaps the most distressing example of all, why Celestia lost her duel with Chrysalis, despite the fact that Chrysalis did not plan on dueling the princess. Despite the fact that Celestia believed herself fully capable of defeating Chrysalis. Both Celestia and Chrysalis were surprised at the results of this duel. And if Celestia's powers really have been weakening, it would help explain this scene as well. If Celestia had begun to realize that she is not going to be able to keep ruling Equestria forever, it would make a lot of sense as to why she has been so fervent in changing the structure of its ruling class, and why she has been helping Twilight learn everything there is to know about friendship and how to be an effective leader. But now I would like to hear from each of you. Do you think that there is any truth to these theories? Would this help explain some of Celestia's actions in the modern day? Is it possible that alicorns are not in fact immortal, but have been given very long lifespans due to their connection to the elements of harmony? Before I leave you for today, I would like to point out one other piece of evidence that may help support this. We have been told by Megan McCarthy that even as an alicorn, Twilight will not outlive her friends. While many of us may have assumed that Twilight will live a normal lifespan, I would like to propose a different interpretation. Because the main six are now connected to the elements of harmony, have they already been granted the gift of eternal youth and not even realized it yet? I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.